realest
insights.
Hey, y'all, welcome back, y'all. Thank y'all. Springtime is happening, y'all, and we're here. Today, we're sitting down with two Missouri growers doing real work in the field. Jesse from Kindway Farms and Romelle from B&D Farms. We're talking medical impact, cultivation in Missouri, saving seeds, and mental health side of carrying this work. Let's get into it. Welcome. Jesse, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am all right. Would you just like to give a brief introduction about you?
Absolutely. I'm Jessie Oxford. My husband Matt and I have Kindway Farms. We're out of Columbia, Missouri. This is the second time we've been able to visit together about the importance of where our communities stand with medical marijuana, the upcoming hemp changes and legislation that will affect the hemp and cannabis industry, and also what we can do to build our community bridges and educate communities and help you find your way with how cannabis and CBD can not only work for your best intention of your days to come, but also the importance of how we, stay in the legal framework and help found and build regulations that continue to evolve in a fairly new industry in Missouri.
Fairly new industry. All right, Brother Romelle, what you got going on there, sir?
My name is Romelle. I'm the owner of B&D Farms. And what really got me into cultivation and learning about cannabis was I worked a very stressful job at one time, and I took it as a challenge to learn how to grow, and it was real therapeutic for me. Then also, I found out since I'm a cooker at heart that I had the act of making tasty treats with edibles, which I found out a lot of people who can't smoke or don't smoke enjoy those treats, and that's a way they could get their medicine. And it became a passion, and I enjoyed it. It's fun. I get to meet a lot of people in the cannabis community, and I understand the importance of cannabis and hemp being following the legal ways of using and providing hemp services, which I'm a real advocate of following the legal ways of doing it.
And that's why we got this show, y'all. We're bringing you the educational piece about the legalities, the benefits of being legal, knowing your rights of what about cannabis and hemp in your state. We're in the state of Missouri, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Going into this show, we're going to break it down into 4 lanes, man. We're going to talk about medical side of it. We're going to talk about the cultivating side of it. We're going to talk about the seed saving side of it, and then we're going to get into the mental health. How you feeling over there, Miss Jessie?
I'm feeling good. I'm a little nervous every time a camera is rolling, but I'm all right. I'm all right.
That's all you got to do is just smile.
Right.
Just smile and enjoy it. Hey, I've been doing this thing for a very long time, and guess what?
What?
I'm just as nervous as you.
Good.
All right, let's get into our first question, y'all. In Missouri, what's the real importance of the medical side?
Yeah.
Who is it helping? And what do people outside the space misunderstand the most?
Okay, so the reality is cannabis has been around for a very long time, but it is newly legal in the state of Missouri. So in 2019, Missouri adopted a medical program. It was really exciting because we've been a part of the medical program from the beginning. We offer MedCard certifications. My husband Matt's a family practice physician, and his dad David, who's retired now, but he helped in the early stages. COVID had just hit. We were all on lockdown. And thank goodness cannabis became legal at that time. So I'm very fortunate that I got to travel the state and help people understand the rules and regulations of the state's medical program. And the great thing is that Missouri has some of the most progressive medical and recreational regulations across the nation. So the important things are sort of the highlights that I think that everyone should know is that if you're using cannabis and you're under 21, you need a medical card. Talk to us. It's a conversation. It's not a scary situation. What do you use cannabis for?
Right.
20 years ago when I was using cannabis or weed, as ditchweed back in the day, I mean, it was with intention to get high and have a good time.
Right.
I didn't know until I started Kindway how many people use it. It is a working man's medicine. It is something that is very beneficial for chronic pain, anxiety, and I think a lot of people are just getting through their day.
Balance.
And how can they make the most of their day? And now that we know more, that we can use it with the intention of pain relief. We can really use it with the intention of taking the edge off. We can use it with the intention of productivity and being more focused and getting things done. And once we know more about the plant, then we're able to identify what we need in our own life with a little self-assessment, talking to community educators, dispensary workers on what we can do to have the best outcome for the day. But if you're under 21, you need a medical card. And I like to say a medical card because it's recreational now. 21 and up, you're legal to have 3 ounces on your possession. If you have over that on you, you need a medical card. You're legally allowed to have 6 ounces on you. So you literally have more rights by participating in this program. So let me hit a couple of the other rights, and you all have to stop me because I talk a lot.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
So the big key takeaways, if I could communicate that to people who are listening, is that in Missouri, if you're under 21 and use cannabis, let's get you legal. Okay. No one needs to start their journey into adulthood with a criminal background on cannabis. Okay. Let's get you legal. If you are over 21, some of the additional benefits is that you will receive at dispensaries a huge financial savings because your taxes are going to be up to 15% less by having a medical card. So the same product, you're going to go to a dispensary and you're going to buy a $20 product, you're going to get taxed on it a lot more if you don't have a medical card, if you're just walking in to buy 21 and up, okay?
Up under the recreational law.
Yep. So tax savings is a huge benefit. You're allowed to carry a higher allotment on you. So if you're 21 and up, you don't have a med card, you're legally allowed to have 3 ounces on you. Okay. Now, everyone consumes differently, but if you're in a position where you have more than 3 ounces on you, let's get you a medical card because you have a higher allotment that you're allowed. You can purchase 6 ounces a month from a dispensary under the medical program. You'll have 12 ounces that you're allowed to have on you, okay? So that's another big difference is your allotment. You have probation and parole rights under the medical program that you don't have as 21 and up. There are also parental rights. These things are important rights that you get with the medical program. And if you ever have any questions, the Department of Health and Senior Services has a section under DCR, Department of Cannabis Regulation for the state of Missouri.
Did y'all get that? DCR.
Missouri Department of Cannabis Regulation. You can literally go to their website and they have breakdowns of the important regulations and guidelines and why you might find it beneficial. So hop on there and take a look. You can always feel free to reach out to us, and we're a community resource in that part too. If you're sort of weighing, well, do I really need a medical card or not? But those are some of the bigger things that you need. If you use and you're under 21, you should have a medical card. If you purchase from a dispensary, grab your medical card. You're going to save money. If any parental disputes come up, divorces, custody case, and you're a cannabis user, protect yourself with parental rights and then probation and parole rights. There are also limited workplace protections, and the reason I say limited is because Missouri is an at-will employer, but you do have some workplace protections where the state sort of outlines some guidelines for employers. Okay.
So if you are in the state of Missouri and you still walking around enjoying cannabis and not knowing all your rights,
Yeah.
I encourage you to learn. Hit that DHSS.gov site in Missouri so you can get that DCR. Go over there, get educated, get information. You know, what gaps do you think that they still need to fill, Brother Romelle?
I think something like she covered a lot of them, and I think the key thing is knowing your rights. I think by us knowing where we can carry it, kind of keep us out of getting jammed up or get caught in a situation where thought you was right but you're wrong.
Right.
I think that that's really really the key thing, and that's where I learned over my time a journey of playing in the cannabis been in the cannabis industry and learning and trying to figure out my way. I think you get some misinformation. You think you're right because everybody else doing it, but it's not right because you didn't find out the facts. I think that's one of the main things about the medical program is knowing that you have some protection and what you can and cannot do.
And education and protection is important, because we have rights.
Yeah, and I think like one more thing to add that maybe will lead into one of your future segments is that if you're a medical patient and your preference isn't going to the dispensary or you have dietary restrictions, there are a lot of really great caregivers out there who grow. When you find a great caregiver like Romelle and I, who grow as naturally as you can get, or we're making infused candies, or we have
Goodies.
Use cannabis. It's not the same. It's not our dad's ditchweed anymore.
Right.
The method of consumption. I mean, if I didn't grow, I probably wouldn't smoke as much. But that's sort of the fruits of your labor, I guess. But tinctures. Grandma. Not all grandmas want to smoke or go to church smelling like weed, right? But if they have maybe a CBD THC gummy that helps them with their pain, with their chronic pain. Or most importantly, I think sort of the neatest thing is that the older generation, now that it's legal, they're more willing to try it because they're not breaking the law, and that's something that's really important to a lot of patients that we've certified over the state, is that it's legal now. They feel safe that they can try it to see if it works for them. And, it's a balance. I'm not saying, oh, never go to the doctor. I think it's important to add this to your current medical plan. But having a good night's sleep or being able to go out and do your errands and be sort of pain-free for an aging community, I think there's a lot of benefit to that they're open to, and they're finding out that cannabis is working for those things. So, it's neat to see people open their mind to it when it's been prohibited for so long,
See, that I'm happy that we get into that medical side.
Yeah.
You see, because that's what the next question is leading to.
Yeah.
Is that medical access, that responsibility, that trust, that safety that you just talked about is legal now.
Right.
I'm going to trust you to give me the right amount that I can,
Right.
like going to take a pain medicine or something.
Yeah.
And
that's important. Like if you go to a doctor's office and say you're depressed, right? They're going to go through a few different antidepressants that sort of see if that works for you, to see if it helps. And you may have to try 3 or 4 different ones before you find one that works for you. What's sort of nice about cannabis is that you can consume cannabis for depression. And again, I'm not a medical professional.
Right.
We're trying to
but
help
your
you.
husband is.
He is. And what's great about cannabis is that you wake up every day to a sober mind, right? And so some days you don't feel anxious or overwhelmed, so you may not need cannabis.
Right.
Whereas on a prescription, you're going to take that medicine every day, whether you need it or not, because it's a different distribution style. You're getting your medicine in a different format. Whereas cannabis can be used as, something that you can use instantly, or a delayed method of consumption to help with your things that sort of come up as you need them.
Right.
So if you have a life event that's making you really stressed out, you can identify and correlate, hey, you know, I can reset myself by stepping outside and smoking, or I know I have this event coming up that I don't want to be at because there's going to be too much drama. So you're going to preemptively take a gummy that may not work instantly, but by the time you get to your event, you've already calmed down and simmered. So how you're dosing yourself, you really get to manage that yourself, and that's pretty neat, you know?
See, I wouldn't want a gummy myself. I like them Starbursts.
right. Those are big hits. Those are big hits. But I will tell you, Romelle makes some pretty great gummies, and he makes them. You know,
Oh, most definitely.
right?
His gummies are delicious.
Absolutely.
Delicious. Yes, they are. They are delicious. What does it look like to serve the medical side responsibly, quality, consistent education? What standards should growers and brands hold themselves to?
Well, for me, I hold myself to a very high quality because I look at it as like at the time my mother-in-law was taking my gummies, my father-in-law was taking my gummies, and I serve a lot of seniors. And I look at them, I wouldn't want any bad product to go to them, as I want to take pride in my product.
But wait, not only do you have gummies, you got gummies, you got muscle rub, very good muscle rub, y'all. Very good muscle rub. What else do you have over there on that?
I do tinctures, I do olive oils, I do cooking oils, sugars.
Yeah.
I just got a hard candy. I just got down.
Lifesavers.
Lifesavers.
And the flour, like you have high quality flour
And I have
too.
very good flour, and that's what I take pride in, my flour. Yeah, that's my showpiece.
That's what it is. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
See, I'm happy that we got to that aspect of it, because when he became part of the cannabis and got the cultivation and got that understanding, he gave me that understanding.
Yeah.
You know, and introduced me to growing on the legal side of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know, because by me being an ex-drug dealer and a felon and all that, and
Yeah.
running a community center, you know, the what they call that, when people worried about the
Stereotype.
The stereotype and stigma that comes with it.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
when he educated me on that, I was like, oh my goodness, this just opened the door for me, and I grow.
Yeah.
I learned how to grow.
Yeah.
The therapy, I haven't done it since in about a year.
Yeah.
Because I miss it.
Right,
You know, and that's
right.
due to me renovating in the place, and
Yeah.
I have to get the place together. But man, it's just the education. I mean, just on the science side of it.
No, I mean, and that's something that, you know, I hope that I sort of have a very, I don't want to say naive, but I really look at life through like a childlike lens, I guess, because being a mom and raising kids and get excited over, you know, they ride their bike for the first time, or when it connects and they tie their shoestring and it's like they got it.
Right.
You know, you get that same response from growers. And growing is dedication. I mean,
That is correct.
It is.
That is
It's
correct.
like having a child. It's another living being that you are taking care
Hey.
of. And once you understand that alone is therapy, that the more love you put into that child or that plant, the better end product you get. It's therapeutic. It holds you accountable to doing beautiful things. And then you get to provide this beautiful medicine to yourself, to the ones you love, and you share that community. It's exciting, and something to be proud of.
The principle of it. See, if you, like you said, once you get that understanding, once you connect those dots, see, the thing when I became a cultivator that I loved about it is it put a lot of things about life in perspective.
Yeah. It's sort of, and like specifically in your situation, like I hope it's a full circle moment for
most
you,
definitely, most
and
definitely.
you sort of get that peaceful closure at the end that, maybe you weren't, maybe cannabis crimes, we were wrong about it. And now that we know more about the plant, then I don't want to say justification, but I think maybe we always knew the health side of it.
No, we wasn't always educated about the health side.
Yeah.
See, what I have learned as an adult, that a lot of drugs that are here on the streets and that's illegal, they all started out as a medical thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's something we have to look at in our healthcare system. And I think that you know systems are in place, and people you have your extremes anywhere, right? But systems are in place because not everyone does the right thing.
That is correct.
If everyone
That is
did the
correct.
right thing, we don't really have to worry about a system. You have an honor and an oath and a guide. That's not a reality, though. Right. And so, when we're talking today about cannabis and rules and regulation, there are systems in place because we sort of have to have systems in place.
Yes.
The beautiful thing is that being on the forefront of new hemp legislation, or being involved with community members and the Capitol and the Department of Cannabis Regulation, that feedback is important so that programs and initiatives and regulations are built to uplift communities instead of suppress communities.
That is correct.
And having that voice to know if you're interested, I think everybody should be growing. I think if you're willing to take a personal assessment on this is what I've dealt with in life, or this is where I'm at in life, how do you get better, then you just include it.
And just to learn the principle of how things go.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
nature of it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to partake in it. Just learn. You can just learn about life just from taking it from seed to harvest.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know a lot of growers who they don't consume either. They still they have their CDL, or they have job responsibilities that don't allow them to consume yet, but they still grow and they're legally allowed to do it for other patients.
Right.
So learning the caregiving program, if growing is something that you're interested in doing, and sort of that's sort of my mission with Kindway is promoting home growers, giving you the tools and resources to put out the best that you can, and then sharing that through the caregiver program. You can literally have 72 total plants when you max out a legal medical grow through the caregiver
72.
program. 72 total plants.
And how many caregivers is that?
That's like
One
me.
caregiver.
Yep. I'm growing for myself, and I'm going to grow for 3 other medical patients. Okay? That allows me 72 total plants, 24 flowering plants for that group. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of product, and
Right.
that's a lot that you can give back to those patients. A lot of people use a lot more cannabis than what I need. It's not an individual comparison. It's a reality. Some people have conditions that they require a lot.
Right.
I think it's great that the state allows us to do that.
I'm happy we over here talking about cultivation, because cultivation in Missouri, what it really takes. Let's talk cultivation in Missouri. What separates a grow that's just surviving from a grow that builds to last? Genetics, environment, compliance, business discipline. What's the truth?
Well, the first thing I would have to say is time. An average day for me is I get up for about 6
As a cultivator.
as a cultivator. Well, granted, I don't hand water no more, but I still have to fill my reservoirs, and I got some plants I have to hand water. Well, that's probably about 2 or 3 hours worth of work.
Okay.
All through I spray them out through the day, and then you have to evaluate your crop, make sure you got no bugs, make sure everything's growing right. It's maintenance. I call that my daily maintenance. And then it's the pressure when something go wrong, then you got to figure it out.
That problem solving.
Problem solving skills.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I like. That's one thing I think growing breed to me is I'm a mental type of guy. I like challenges and problem solving. I think that's one of the things being a cultivator brings to me, the challenge of figuring out how to get the best product and figure out how to control, like you said, your environment, because the environment is very key when you're growing. Yep. And then Conway Farm is Jesse. They have some great genetics, and you've got to find a trusting a genetic place to get you good genetics. And I think the biggest thing is time and commitment with growing.
Genetics.
Yeah.
What that mean? What that mean?
Okay, so genetics are seeds. To start any garden, you need seeds to start, and that's really what
So
a
you-
big reason why we're here today.
Okay, he said that genetics, that's something that you do. So Conway Farms produce their own seeds.
Yep. So my husband Matt and I will give Matt full credit. He is the breeder. He is checking different genetics for different reasons. But since 2020, we have been breeding genetics and sharing them with patients. And then we've gotten sort of popular around the state and nation, and even have a few people internationally growing out our genetics, which has been really cool.
Wow.
But from coast to coast, we have people growing our genetics, and it's how
And
you
it's
start
small
a garden.
business, correct?
We're a small business. We're literally a mom and pop breeder that have gained some traction.
And this is what's a threat in Missouri. It's the mom
Yeah.
and pop, the small breed.
Yeah, and so I mean, right now, the state of Missouri and both Missouri and federal regulations for hemp are changing. When the big beautiful bill was passed a few weeks or a month ago, it included an update to the hemp clause. So right now, Kindway Farms cannabis genetics are legal because seeds contain 0 THC, right? But now there's a borderline. Are they hemp? Are they marijuana? How are they going to be tracked? Who buys seeds? What's the intention with those seeds? So all of these things are becoming the groundwork for how seeds will be addressed moving forward. My goal is to make sure that because Missouri, we allow medical patients to grow. We allow adult consumers to grow. You have to be registered, but you're still allowed to grow.
Right.
And cultivation facilities. All of those growing entities need seeds to get started, or clones to get started, right? But seeds are going to become illegal for interstate commerce starting in November. We're looking and sort of waiting to see how the state of Missouri reacts to this. But if you would go to Missourians for a Single Market on Instagram, that's Missourians for a single market, and also look up Canna Answers with Deb Nash. Both of those are really great resources for you to sort of follow what's happening with hemp regulation.
Now, you small businesses.
That's right.
You got to get
That's
this
right.
information. You
And
need to know what's going on here in Missouri.
a lot of the hemp shops that you see around town, or if you go to a gas station and you see cannabis that's jarred up, labeled, ready to go, all of those are classifying, or most of those are classifying themselves as hemp. There are a lot of legalities to it, but essentially follow Missourians for a Single Market to follow up. I'm going to tell you the bill that you need to sort of stay up to date with. And essentially what we're trying to do is get support for S3686. It's a hemp extension. So instead of just ending a thriving industry in Missouri, we're asking for an extension to help lay proper groundwork for regulations so that people who are already invested, like farmers who grow hemp right now, they're sort of at a standstill. They'll legally plant this spring, But in November, come harvest time, unless the laws or regulations are extended or updated, everything that they grow right now is completely legal, but it will become illegal like November 12th, I think is the date.
Gotcha.
So we're really watching that closely to see what happens and just bring awareness that we want to save the seed. We want growers to have access. This is seeds contain 0% THC. They're a non-intoxicating hemp product at the moment. And we want people to have access to that, access to be able to grow because we're legally allowed to grow in Missouri. So
Now,
that's the awareness that we're bringing today.
and get this awareness. And before I go to the next part of our segment, I'm gonna come back to Brother Romelle real quick and say, if someone wants to do this, what do they need to respect first about cultivating?
I think the first thing you need to respect is the laws and your limits. That's the first thing, and because I'll say that because you might be in an apartment want to grow and the smell come out and somebody call the cops, they come in your house and if you got 100 plants around the house, what's gonna happen?
Right,
You're gonna go to jail.
right.
But if you just by yourself say, hey, I'm a cultivator and I'm sorry about the smell, I'll work on that, here go my card. I think that's the first thing you have to respect. And the other thing would be dedication, knowing that this is a time consuming. I started off as a hobby for me, but it's a time consuming hobby. You got to dedicate some time and research, and but it's easy and it's real rewarding.
And it is easy. See, I thought that I couldn't do it. You see, that was the thing. And when he showed me, I was like, oh, I can. I thought I
Yeah.
was too busy. You know.
Yeah, I think with anything in life, if it's something that you want to do and you have that interest in,
That is correct. That is correct.
anyone
That
can
is
do
correct.
it with the right attention and working it into their day.
And I'm thankful. I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you because I learned a lot. It helped my life. It helped my mental health
Good.
improve
Yeah.
from learning how the grow process. Because I'm a thinker.
Uh-huh.
I like to know how things work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing greater to learn from than nature.
Right. Absolutely.
One thing when I was saying to take 4 hours, that's because of my plant count. I was it's not 4 hours just because I'm working on one plant. It's 4 hours because of my plant count.
He just want y'all to know about that plant count.
Yeah.
That's all.
But if you get 1 or 2 plants, I think 20, 30 minutes a day, what do you find? And you experiment, you'll learn that it's easy.
Now, I'm happy that you ended on that awareness. So we're going to talk about saving the seed. We mentioned it earlier.
Uh-huh.
So why is saving the seed a big deal right now in Missouri, economically and culturally?
Well, I think the importance is that we need to allow access, and so I think the most important thing is access. I think that if we're allowed to grow as medical patients, as consumers, and then cultivation facilities are required to have in-state genetics, we need to have access for those things that are legally allowed. And I think that, with Kindway, we try to make genetics affordable. We want you to have great genetics that you can afford. That's something that's important to people.
So let me ask this question. What happens to farmers when we don't protect local genetics and independence?
I think that and that's sort of a loaded question. Loaded question with that. You can right now order seeds from anywhere that you want. They can be from a breeder. They can be, I think they call it white labeled, where you just go buy mass amounts of seeds from a website, and you can chop those into packages and send them off. You want good quality seeds because, at least for me, I want the people who buy our genetics to have a good experience, right? Romelle, would you be coming back if you spent $50 on a pack and none of them popped? Would you be coming back to Kindway?
No.
Right.
I think I spend more than 50 on my seeds.
Right.
Conway, every month.
So having stuff where Romelle comes in is like, hey, everybody's liking that can be
Right.
bad cat's breath, or everyone's liking that Kim D GMO cross you made. Like, no, that's what you want. You want your community happy and satisfied with the products that you offer. And so I think access is what we need to focus on, and that's why we're doing the Save the Seed event on March 14th here at the community center. You're going to come and meet other local growers and see what they're growing and making and producing. If you are interested in getting a caregiver, you're legally allowed to do that. So come and do that.
And if you're viewing this and you are a grower and want to become a grower, come on down and join us on the 14th.
Come on down
and be educated.
Absolutely. And then we're going to talk to you about it. And,
That's right.
we're going to get you on the right path. I can bring a checklist of things you need as a new grower. If you're an experienced grower, come down and talk to us. I mean, for me, I love that knowledge that experienced growers can come in and tell you things that used to work or didn't work, or that's the community aspect of building and continuing to grow is passing that knowledge on.
And we're even putting a panel together.
We are putting a panel together, and this is going to be the panel that we're putting together is, again, to go into more of the legal details of what the new hemp regulations, where they're going. Like right now in Missouri, they have passed the House on intoxicating hemp ban, which is a lot of the gas station type of stuff that's packaged to sort of stand out to youth and things like that. Like, again, responsible adulting. We want to protect our youth. We want to make sure that products are going out.
And our event is 21 and up.
Our event is 21 and up. Yeah. But we also want to promote the responsible access.
Card. Yeah, correct.
The responsible access, and how do you participate in these programs and know the difference, because a lot of people they don't know the difference. It's confusing. So we're going to bring in some experts to talk at the hemp panel. We're going to have vendors, local vendors and caregivers and growers that you can meet. And then we're also going to have a seed swap. So if you can't afford seeds, but you're a grower and things are tight, come in and exchange a pack of seeds, bring a pack, take a pack, and have access to that.
So they can come in and get some of that OG Kush and
seeds,
and from Conway.
Yeah.
And seed swap.
And do a seed swap. And we've been doing this for a year or so now. And we just take a little board with us. It's a little push button board.
I've seen that.
And people can come up at any time, see what seeds are on there, take a pack, leave a pack for the next person, and share it.
It was there at the link. At the link when I came down to the link. It was there. It was there at that event. And at this event, is B&D Farms going to have some delectables there?
Oh, yes, I will have some usually treat runs and some nice tasties and hard candy, tinctures, rubs, flour, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. See, now we're coming to that part that we're talking about mental health.
Yeah.
We're talking about well-being, pressure.
Right.
Practices. This work comes with pressure, weather, money, regulations, expectations. How do you protect your mental health and well-being?
Well, for me, as like I stated earlier, I had a stressful job. I was working at. And when I found growing and started growing, at first I did it for financial first, and my wife smoked a lot. At the time, it wasn't. We was going to Colorado and everything like that. But at the time, I wasn't smoking at all because of my job.
Because of the job.
Well, the challenge was, I'm like, give me the money. I'll set up. I'll learn how to do it. But I did it. Well, it became very therapeutic. After I got off work, I found myself getting lost in my grow tent for 2 or 3 hours. Then my wife tells me it's time for dinner. I was like, but I'm lost in, researching growing. And, when you first start growing up, one thing you first learn, you are focused on your plants. Like, you think they growing every 5 minutes, but they really not.
That's correct. Cause I
But-
remember I would go over there and zip the tent.
Yeah.
Oh, they made you see it move.
But it became real therapeutic for me, and then learning about the culture. Then I felt, I started doing some research. I'm like, this is something I really want to get into, and I met a lot of good people who was on the same vibe. I think when you find a group that you could connect with, y'all on the same mission, it help make things a lot easier for you, and you learning stuff. It was like an uplifting feeling for me. And then I felt I had talent of making gummies and candies and stuff, and then providing the service to make other people feel good. Well, as Doug, I'm a helper.
Right.
I'm a service person by nature.
Right.
Well, that's like okay, that's what's up. And then and the whole time I'm challenging myself to get better in the community, and I see myself, be around for a while.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Paying it forward.
paying it forward.
Giving that education.
Yeah, sharing to other people who lacks the resources to learning the information.
And those who you have shared, because you have taught people outside of me how to grow.
Yeah.
And they have had good harvests also.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yeah, I think I got 4 people now that I taught how to grow.
That's good.
Yeah, I think it's just a good group. A lot of them, they are professionals. They really can't be out in the public because of their job, but they love it because it's therapeutic.
And they went and got their card and went through the whole process. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. They went through the steps. They just didn't up and grow. They went and got legal first and followed the checklist. And that's the thing with this, y'all. The cloud around it, for you viewer at home, it's a cloud around this that's been lifted. It's not there anymore. And all you have to do is to have this correct information. And for less than $125, how much is it?
Yeah, no, and we're gonna do a deal with the community center that you have. So to be able to grow in Missouri, like through Kindway, it's $185 is what we charge. If you mention the community center, we'll give you 25 off.
Now that's still cheaper because when I got in the game, it was right up under $300, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we try, it still costs, it takes time to do the registration and sort of go through the process, but that includes your doctor's certification. We take care of your registration. And we do and that includes your state fees as well. So the 185 total for 3 years. So you're legal to grow for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. And we'll give you 25 off. You mentioned the community center.
March 14th, y'all.
March 14th.
2026, baby.
Yeah.
213 East Ashley Street.
That's
Come
right.
on out and join us. We're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
And some festivals. All right, y'all. Well, one more thing that I have to ask you real quick. What habits keep you grounded when things get heavy?
Okay. I actually, my husband is the family practice physician I was telling you about. He helped me make a list of, it's about 10 things that I need to do to feel better. It's sort of like a bitch be gone, help keep myself accountable. It's hard, life is hard. Just you got your kids, you got your work, you have your stuff, you have your things that are going on. And again, people are just getting through the day. So, something that is important to me is I have to exercise every day, right? That gives me mental clarity. I have to sort of watch when and where I consume still. Like, it's not, I think people think that I'm able to just smoke weed all day long. And no, I got shit to do, like I still have to be at school at 2:35 to pick up my son and do these things. So I consume with intention. I love to have a little tincture or smoke half a joint before I go to the gym, and I can go in, get my stuff done, and I feel great.
Balanced.
And, I have to be outside every day. I'm one of those people that outside air makes me thrive. So whether that's taking a walk or working in my outside garden or playing with my dogs, I'm outside every day. And I think we have a new challenge right now that's really affecting mental health and clarity, and that is our obsession with our phones and electronics. Find a way to just put it away for a little bit, or eat together. I don't want to say family dinner. No, grab a bite together, and you put the phone down for 20 minutes and ask the people you love, how are you doing? Check in with those people. And then I think the best thing is I look in the mirror every day and, am I living right? That's the question I ask myself every day. Are you living right? And that's
Are
sort of
you
what I do
living
to,
right?
that's what I do to hold myself accountable. How about you?
Me, well, I'm a thinker. Well, a lot of my day starts off right here in my middle.
Yeah?
And usually, I ask them the same question you ask. Am I always ask myself, am I doing somebody right?
Yeah.
Did I do somebody wrong? Do I do something unjust? That's how I start my day off a lot of times. Just about running that process, because I think that process helps jumpstart me what I need to do for the day.
Yeah.
But then I take it as then I got my usually routine, and then I go with my flow. I just do my routine, go with my flow. But I think mostly for me is I always check myself and did I do somebody right? Did I
Yeah.
misuse somebody?
That's good insight, y'all. Good insight. Before we close, what's one message you want Missouri farmers, cultivators, and the community to take with them today?
Go ahead, Romelle.
I would say because I look at myself, I'm new to the cannabis community, and sometimes I know different communities when you want to find your way in. Sometimes you think like they're not going to accept me, or I can't be a part of them, or whatever. Like me, I'm 6'10". I intimidate everybody. Well, people get instantly intimidated by me, and I feel like, oh, they ain't gonna get intimidated by me. I'd like to say, give it a try, because you never know what you're gonna find. Because you will meet some good, awesome people. Just don't put stigmas or stereotypes, or just embrace change and just try to experience. I think a lot of times we are afraid of new experiences.
Yeah.
Miss Jessie?
Well, that was so profound, Romel. I was just going to do a couple plugs, but I agree. Yeah, no, I guess what I would like, thank you for giving us this platform to work together and help educate communities. I think it's really important to be open-minded enough to welcome in new things, and that's really great.
That's correct.
Please come and check out what we're doing on March 14th. Come by. I mean, the community center is beautiful. Building bridges, building community bridges.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, building
BCB.
BCB, building community bridges. They have a lot of really great things to offer. 4 or 5 months ago was the first time that I came here. Come check it out. It's really something special. We're here on March 14th. We're going to give you a great discount on medical cards. And if you still have questions, you're just going to come in and talk to us about it. We're going to have a number of vendors here. Come and see what it's like, learn about it. And then I want to do a quick plug on, we have a big event April 11th in Columbia.
Yes.
And this is for those of you who are interested in the cultivation side, or if you're looking for a caregiver, or if you just enjoy craft cannabis. And when I say craft cannabis, I mean the dank. Like if you're looking
Gotcha.
for who is growing the best,
Right.
who is making the best concentrates, we have all of the best from around the state.
And what's the name of it?
It's called the Common Ground Fair.
Now, are you going to have live performances there?
We do have live performances there. We have educational seminars from industry experts. We have a pest management, Growcast. He does a podcast. He's out of Illinois, Jordan River. And he has an international podcast on growing. So another resource for you to use as a grower or wannabe grower.
Right.
We're going to get you started in the right direction with that event. There's a local soil company, Riverview Living Soils, will be there, and they're going to talk about there are many different ways to grow.
You use their products?
I do, yeah,
Okay,
I do
okay.
use their products. I will say that we go in cycles. We mix our own soil and blend and use it, and then we're out, and they are my go-to.
And they have good genetics.
We have
I'm
good
talking
genetics.
about Kindway.
Thank you. So yeah, you can check out kindwayfarms.com, and this is the best deal. It's $10 a ticket for that April 11th Common Ground Fair. But if you buy that ticket online, because that helps us pay for this event, it's a big community event. So we're not making tons on it. Everything helps. But if you buy your ticket online, it's $10. Then I put together a $50 craft bag for you that you get for free. So you're going to get some seeds. You're going to get some of our craft flour. You're going to get some of our topical and tincture. So we put together a really great craft bag that you get when you buy your $10 ticket. It goes out to the first 100 people who buy their tickets. So come and support local.
And the first 50, 100 people.
Yeah, the first 100 people who buy their tickets, and
Okay.
and there are plenty. A lot of people buy their tickets the day of. They come in from all over the
Right.
state, but this is a great facility. You can see pictures. It's at a new place this time. We just had a scheduling conflict, but Cedar Creek Resort and RV Park. So even if you're coming in and you're listening from out of town, and you want to stay there, they have cabins for rent, or get your group together. I mean, come and stay at
Gotcha.
a cabin. They have campsite rentals. If you have an RV, you can bring the RV, but there's a beautiful lake that this event's going to be on. We'll have live music, educational seminars. We're going to bring in some good food. So $10 is a really great day.
A really great day. Fun.
Yeah.
And I went to an event that they had down at the lake, and man, it was beautiful.
Thank
It
you.
was beautiful, and I know that we're going to have a beautiful event here.
Yes,
in
we
Jeff
are.
City. It's going to be the first of many. So stay tuned. I'd like to thank y'all again
Thank
for coming
you
out
Thank you.
for
today.
having us.
You know, we got
Absolutely.
B&D in the house. It's been a minute. You know, he started Unfiltered Thoughts with me, so you know it's an honor to have him back here, man. And now y'all know what he's been doing. He's been over there in the cannabis field doing his thing, and then he brought Miss Jessie from Kindway Farms, and she just gave us all that education. So y'all, please, if you want it, go get it. Reach out, give him a call. But let me get into this final word, and I'd just like to thank y'all again.
Thank
All
you.
right. The final word, affirmation for DW3. I was born in pressure, but I'm built for purpose. I don't just survive. I structure my life, sharpen my character, and show up with consistency. I forgive what's behind me, learn from what tried to break me, and lead with discipline and love. Today, I build bridges within myself, for my family, and for my community. I am becoming on purpose, and I finish what I started. Peace and love. Thank you again.
Good job.